Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about my birth story. I know these videos are like very common, and I know that the person that's probably watching this is a mom who's pregnant. You might be fearful of birth, you might be curious about hypnobirthing, and I'm here to tell you my experience. And I also want to start off by saying that I'm going to talk about the benefits. There are 4 benefits to doing hypnosis for pregnancy and during your birthing time. And then I'm also going to touch on, I'm going to go into detail of my birth story. And I wanted to give a fair warning that the beginning of this story and maybe like the middle is a little bit like sad, but I want you to know that the end is super happy. My baby is 10 months old today, and I love her so much. She's great. She has hit all of her milestones regardless of her being a premature baby. I wanted to say that if you're pregnant, if you're nervous for your birth, that everything will come out as it's supposed to, and everything happens for a reason. And you really, when it comes to birth, you really just have to like roll with it. You have to ride the waves. And the only way to get to the happy ending that I'm currently in and that you will be into is that you just have no way but to just go through it. My point of making this video is that I'm hoping to share how you can make going through the process easier on yourself, because my process was not easy. I wanted it to be easy. Of course, everyone wants it to be easy. I wanted Hypnobirth in water, and I wanted it to be at a birth center or at home. Birth center was like the compromise between me and my partner. He didn't feel comfortable giving birth at home, and which is like, he wasn't giving birth, I was, but still, he wasn't comfortable with us being at home. And so the middle ground was the birthing center, and I was cool with that and was ready to do that, ready to do the water birth, found my perfect place, found my naturopathic midwives, and that's just my style. That's what I wanted to do. Unfortunately, I ended up giving birth in the hospital. But what I'm about to tell you today is something that you can take with you wherever you birth. It does not matter if you are birthing in your car, if you're birthing in a river, if you're birthing in the hospital, on a plane, anywhere you go, you can use this. And this is why this video and this technique is so important for every single mom to learn before birth. So, hypnobirthing. I think hypnobirthing has a lot of misconceptions, just like people think with hypnosis. You are in a state of hypnosis during this, and let me just reiterate that being in a state of hypnosis is really just being in a meditative state. And I think that this is a skill that you need during birth, because birth is so stressful. It is so intense. And if you can conquer relaxing through every single pressure wave, aka the contraction, if you can relax through every single one of those, or at least try your very hardest to relax as much as possible, your birth will happen a lot quicker. Because in order to have your cervix fully dilated, like, that is a process where you need to be relaxed. Yes, your body is going to do it either way, but like, if you can relax, and if you get to the end of this video and you hear my story, you will know how powerful it is to have relaxation and to be able to have your mind control what your body is doing, and having that mind-body connection and just like working in harmony with your body, and just allowing and relaxing and just allowing and going through it. And I'm doing this like flowy thing because like that's kind of like how it feels, where it's like just like flow, like let your body go and let your cervix open, so that way you can have this birth done. Because like, it is so intense. Like, and if you're a first time mom, like they always say, you know, you are gonna have like a longer birth, and like, it could be true. It could not be true though. You never know what will happen. There's definitely cases where first-time moms have a very short birth, and regardless of how long or short your birth is, if you can keep yourself in this hypnotic, meditative state, it will be a lot easier to go through. Before I get into the 4 reasons why hypnobirthing is so good, I wanted to just talk about birth in TV and movies is portrayed in a way that is painful, traumatic, like you don't have any control over your own body and where your baby's going. The doctor has all of the control, like, and this goes back into like, I mean, years of just, I remember being in school and learning about hypnobirthing and like how there was doctors back in the day that literally used to put women under general anesthetic to give birth, which they're not really giving birth because they're asleep. So it was really just a doctor taking a baby out of them. And that is not ideal. That is not like natural. Like any other species, they just give birth. Like they don't have all of these different interventions. And although interventions can sometimes be good, especially in my case, like I actually needed some of the interventions in order for my baby to be okay and for me to be okay. And so I also wanted to say that too, that like if you are choosing the epidural, if you're choosing whatever you're choosing in Western medicine, you can still use it in conjunction with hypnobirthing. And that is like a lesson that I did not know until I was in my birthing time, or really right before it, when I got the news or got the event that led me to know that I have to have a hospital birth. That was when I realized how powerful hypnobirthing was and how grateful I was that I learned about it and that I practiced it with my partner and throughout my pregnancy, because it just made everything so much easier. So TV and movies give us all of this fear and these misconception that birth is painful and terrible. And really, it can be a beautiful experience if you make it. So number one thing is when you're pregnant, try not to watch TV and movies that show birthing scenes, because it could instill fear in you and you just don't need that energy right now. Like to me, I was like, I don't want to see this right now. Like I don't, because I need to think all positive things about my birth. I cannot have any negative things, any fears come into me, because like that is not going to help me in my birthing time. In your birthing time, like you need to be as positive as you can in order to get through this, because being negative and fearful like it makes our body like close up. And so you're just not going to get anywhere. So any TV, movies, anything with like terrible birth scenes, just don't watch it when you're pregnant. Like it's just not necessary. So the first reason why hypnobirthing is so powerful is for pain relief or pain management. Everyone talks about pain in birth. Yes, it's painful. It's not, I don't like to use the word painful though. And I didn't throughout my pregnancy. I used the word intense. And I used that throughout my birthing time. And there's definitely like lots of, you could take a course called like Hypnobabies, or like there's other hypnobirthing courses, and they teach you these different like wording to use. And you can bring that wording to your doctors. Like I had all of my doctors like not use the word contraction. We're using the word pressure wave. Like whenever I would get a contraction, I would take a deep breath and I would say, like a big, strong hug for me and baby. And that is essentially what it is. Like your uterus is contracting around your baby, and it's your uterus. So you and your baby are having this big, strong hug. It's intense, and it's only to help her to descend, or he. So different like techniques like that is within hypnobirthing, Hypnobabies. I'll like link Hypnobabies down here in the description. That's the course I took. Honestly, I want to develop my own course, but I do not have time for that right now. And if you watch my previous video, the reintroduction, that is just not in the cards for me, is doing hypnosis stuff right now. Although I still deeply love it, and talking about it right now is making me upset because like I want to do more of it. But I have to be patient. Baby's only 10 months old. We are waiting until 1 year before we jump back into that business because I'm busy with the other business. Anyways, second reason why hypnobirthing is so good for you to learn is for the relaxation portion. Like I said, if you can stay relaxed throughout your birthing time, things are going to go a lot more smoothly. And another thing is that the way that hypnosis works is that we have like different brain waves, alpha, beta, theta brain waves. And hypnosis is when you're in a certain brain wave where you are like almost sleeping. So it's like the brain wave that we're going through when we're sleeping, when we're dreaming. And like, listen, I could not remember the passcode to my phone during my birthing time. And my partner just couldn't get in my phone because I just like kept typing it in and I'm like, what is wrong with me? I can't remember my passcode. And it's just very strange that happened. But yeah, you're basically in this different brain wave that, you know, you're just super, super relaxed. But it's so funny because when you're in the birthing time, like, it's not like you're not there. Like, I was fully capable of talking to every single person in the room. I had my hypnosis recordings playing in the background throughout the entire time. And that is like probably the number one way, like, because you don't know what your partner's gonna do in the birthing time. Some people have very, very, very involved partners. And if you take a Hypnobabies class, it is with your partner. It doesn't have to be your like baby's dad or like other parent. It could be anybody that's going to be in the room with you for that time. So it could be a doula, it could be like your mom, it could be whoever is going to be assisting you during your birthing time, you can take to that class. And that person is someone that you would practice with. So like, for example, like my partner, he would read to me the scripts like every night and we practiced together. So that way his voice also helped me to be in hypnosis during the birthing time. So your partner can read the scripts your entire time of the birth. However, my birthing time lasted for about 2 days. My partner was like not going to be reading to me that entire time. Like I would not expect that of him. So I did have recordings playing in the background and that was really helpful. Hypnotherapy is something that in general always releases anxiety. So by doing this class and by learning this technique, like you are going to be releasing all of your anxieties about birth. And that's the thing, like before you go into your birthing time, lay all your fears out on the table because you don't need to take any of that with you. Like lay them all out on the table. Process through them with a therapist, process through them with these meditations, process through them journaling, like however you can do it. You need to process through your fears before you go into your birthing time. Third reason why hypnosis is so good during the birthing time is that it helps gain your confidence by listening to pregnancy affirmations every day or even like birthing time affirmations. All the stuff I'm saying, by the way, is like things that I've done. Like I have all the recordings. You get all these recordings if you do the Hypnobabies course. And so, and then there's a folder that you don't open until you're in your birthing time and it changes language for you. So yeah, it helps build confidence during your birthing time because you're listening to these affirmations and it just feels so good. Like it's like a bonding time too, because like when you meditate, you're spending time with like you and your baby. Oh my gosh, like I actually feel like I'm kind of getting emotional. I'm just thinking about like being in the hospital and like all those times of just like bonding with my baby before she arrived in the world and like, it's crazy because she's like here now. Now I miss her and now I want to go back upstairs. So I need to finish this video. So yeah, hypnosis and listening to these tracks like really just builds confidence in your body's ability to give birth. Like a lot of women are very fearful that like they can't do it. And there might be a time even with hypnosis during your birth that you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this. Like that definitely happened to me. I was like, looked at my partner, I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, I might have to get some pain thing. Like, I just don't even know. And he's like, no, you don't. You're fine. You got it. And I was like, okay, you're right. I do got it. And I am so grateful for him for saying that, like, because I really did. And I went through it. And like, if I would have got the pain medication, I wouldn't have been as proud of myself, but not to shame that. That's okay if you do that. But that was just my standards and my preference for myself. So fifth reason why hypnobirthing is so cool and so good is because it can develop connection with not only your baby, but your partner. And going back into like the course, like if you take the course and you do these activities with your partner, it can be a special bonding time for you and your partner to do this relaxation together. And by having that strong bond, going into birth with somebody that you have a strong bond with, sorry about my dogs, but that is my reasons for hypnobirthing. I almost feel like that should have been a separate video.